right, we are on the Twitch, and let me unmute our special guest here. Big surprise. Hopefully, all this goes as planned.
We will see.
I'm going to bring you down just a little bit on the live stream. All right. Cool. All right, we're good on the Twitch. Hopefully, everybody can see you and everybody can see me. Might want to check. Go to twitch.tv/ThrillGeek.
Yeah, I can see.
Cool. We're slowly learning this, ladies and gentlemen. This remote recording thing is we're slowly learning it here. So, all right, I got Skype. I found this. Where is it here? Let me make sure this is going. Otherwise, we won't have a podcast, which would not be good. Hello, Twitch, by the way, everybody joining. Thank you for joining us. Let me make sure that this is.
The hell?
What?
Oh, my screen went blank.
Don't do that. Don't disappear.
Trying to figure out what is going on. The heck?
Freeze or?
It's just going black. The camera's still on. I'm not sure why my screen is gone dark. Up there it goes. Weird.
Is the live stream still doing okay? Because you're not moving on the live stream. Your camera's froze.
I'm looking. So the camera's froze, but you bring Skype fully back up.
Yeah, you're froze because I'm looking at the Twitch right now on my phone.
It could not collect your select. Okay. Camera, integrated webcam. Let's see your webcam. Learn more.
I think mine is frozen too. What's going on?
I can see you.
Yeah. We're professionals, folks. Professionals.
Let me close the live stream pages. All right. Why is my camera?
That is bizarre. I don't know what's going on. Everything's good on the live stream, man. Like nothing's lagging out or anything. It's just the webcam.
Yeah.
My audio is low. Yeah, I can turn that up. That's an easy fix.
Let's see. Webcam.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate the technical feedback. We're trying to figure this out.
Camera privacy settings, maybe. Access to the camera. Allow apps to accept your camera.
Plus, I don't have my microphone right up to my mouth as usual. Well, we'll hang out for a few minutes until we get this thing figured out, because if we're having issues, I don't want to proceed until we have this stuff all figured out. So, anyways, what's going on, Twitch? How you guys doing? Hello, everyone in the chat. How's everybody enjoying this apocalypse?
Close that. Skype. Close that. Let me see this.
Can you guys in the chat see it? Can you tell me if my webcam is working and it's just Barry's that's frozen, or both of ours frozen, or? Because on my end,
There we go.
oh, you're back now. Now my webcam is still frozen. Is mine still frozen?
I'm seeing your webcam.
And it's working. I'm moving.
It's working on my end. I'm gonna turn it off though, because that's less.
But are you looking at the one through Skype? Because I'm not using the Skype webcam because I have the good webcam through the I have the Logitech webcam in Streamlabs.
Ah.
I'm not using the one you see on our Skype call, the cheapy little one, built-in one.
Let's see here.
I'm using the nice Logitech that we normally have on both of us, but I just have it on me. But it looks like I'm still frozen.
You're moving on the live stream.
Yeah.
No, you're definitely. Yeah, your camera's moving.
Okay. All right.
I can see. Yeah.
Okay. I think we figured it out.
All right, I'm going to turn it off now. So try not to suck up bandwidth on my end.
Because of your fabulous Wi-Fi.
Yes.
Cool. All right, cool. I think we got it all figured out here. Anyways, I'm not going to mess with the live stream. I'm going to keep it on this. I have the other ones, but this is the only one that both Barry and I are on, so I'm going to keep it on this screen throughout the live stream. But now we'll get the podcast rocking and rolling here for a little preview for those of you guys. We're gonna chat mainly about Halloween Horror Nights tonight. We're gonna have fun, but I figured since the news broke of the cast member stuff, and I figured we could do a quick update and then jump right into Halloween Horror Nights stuff because I don't want to spend too much time with this stuff, but you know, we do discuss theme park news, and this is obviously the news that's going on right now, so we're going to talk about it. So we're not going to spend too much time on it, I promise, but because we want to talk about something that we enjoy, and that's Halloween Horror Nights, and we've got some speculation to talk about, so we're going to do that tonight on tonight's recording. So anyways.
Yeah.
Let me give me a second here. I'm gonna get things set up and we'll get rocking and rolling. All right. Let me mute you right quick, buddy. All right. Let me mute. Just to test, Barry, can you hear? I'm gonna play like a little sound effect. I'm gonna turn it down so I don't make you deaf. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I could hear. Yeah, I heard that.
Okay, cool. All right. Everything is good to go. All right, I'm muting you. Barry webcam muted. I'm gonna mute me and bring up intro music. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the ThrillGeek Podcast. I'm Clint.
I'm Barry, and welcome to week 2 of the.
What are we calling?
We're not even called. It's not even called social distancing anymore. It's now what, physical distancing. the Physical Distancing Podcast. But we've got something new because you can see both of us now. It's just not him with an empty chair.
Yeah. We finally figured it out. I've been trying to warp my brain around trying to figure out this live stream. For those of you that watch the live stream of the podcast, normally it's Barry sitting next to me and we both kind of jump in and do the podcast. But last week I couldn't wrap my head around this whole setup that we have with the mixer and the laptops and Barry over at his place. But I think I finally figured it out. I kind of got my headphones kind of plugged into the mixer. I got my headphones plugged into the laptop. So I'm kind of multitasking here, but we'll figure it out as we go here. But as far as this week's recording, we're going to briefly touch on some. We have a knack for recording the podcast on days for when stuff happens.
Well, it's either like days stuff happens or it's like, oh, there's something happened major day. Sorry, no, I can't do a podcast today. I've got issues. But yeah, I mean it's before we get to more theme park stuff, let's go through some quick pop culture news, which has just basically become movie release dates have changed. So much to Clint's chagrin. Top Gun Maverick has now been moved to December 23rd, 2020.
Yeah, I was preparing for it because it was pretty much inevitable at this point because every movie that was kind of coming out in this April, May, June, July kind of summertime frame was bound to be pushed back. So it is what it is. I'm bummed, but hey, it's December 23rd. It's like I posted this on Twitter. It's 2 days before Christmas, so what better Christmas present than Top Gun 2, Top Gun Maverick? So I'm bummed, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it was part of a bunch of moves by Paramount, moving the SpongeBob movie from May 22nd to July 31st. We'll see if that still holds. Quiet Place Part 2 has now have a date of September 4th, which is Labor Day weekend. So those moves were made by Paramount. Top Gun is moving into a very crowded Christmas time. The Christmas Day weekend releases are like Tom and Jerry from Warner Brothers, The Nightingale, World War II drama, DreamWorks, The Croods 2.
Whoa, go back. Tom and Jerry?
Yeah, they're trying it again. They're trying to do a Tom and Jerry movie again.
Really? This is news to me.
I feel like is like the first, second, or third time they've attempted this.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tom and Jerry, DreamWorks Animations, The Croods 2. Was anybody asking for that? Universal's News of the World. And then the week before Christmas, you got West Side Story, Dune, Coming to America 2. So that's a pretty crowded Christmas time this year. The other big news was Ghostbusters being pushed back to March of next year. Which sucks.
When was that originally supposed to come out? I should know this because
this summer.
Was it a summer? Yeah.
Yeah, this summer. The Minions: Rise of Gru has now been scheduled for July 2nd of 2021. So that's been pushed back an entire year, which seems to be Universal's strategy is they're just pushing everything back a year practically.
So 2021, you were talking about a pretty busy December. 2021 is going to be a crazy year for movies now too because of all these pushbacks.
There is like
delays.
It feels like there is like a blockbuster movie coming out every other week in 2021.
Yeah.
That's obviously if stuff that's already scheduled for 2021 doesn't get pushed back even more. With where if we talk in MCU, we're talking like Shang-Li, which was supposed to come out in February 2021. They were obviously paused production. Spider-Man 3 was supposed to begin production in July. That's already been delayed. Yeah. Doctor Strange was supposed to begin production in June. That'll probably be delayed. On top of the big rumor that came out this week and got a lot of hate online by the people who posted this rumor, who have often been pretty accurate, is Disney is trying to make a decision of what to do with Mulan and Black Widow. because they need money.
Yeah.
And there are talks that possibly releasing Mulan and Black Widow to video on demand.
Yeah.
Uh, we've sort of mentioned this, as an idea before, obviously with Trolls coming out next week, straight to video on demand. Um, Disney, we'll get more into this eventually, but like Disney may have to make this decision because we're looking at like July, maybe at the earliest, movie theaters are going to be open.
Yeah.
Do you wait
Do you
or
wait or yeah? That's a
and
tough.
because Disney is in a tough place with all the parks being closed. ESPN has no sports. So a huge chunk of their revenue is not happening. And, do they roll the dice and release, Mulan or Black Widow to video on demand and hope that they can,
recoup
that
some of.
it
I mean, I don't
makes
think
enough money.
I don't think they would obviously make what they would put if they put them in the movie theaters, obviously, but because if you put it on demand, charge what's the going
Like
rate for
$20.
digital movie?
They
20
might.
$25
I
usually,
mean,
right?
Black Widow. I would assume maybe they would try $25. I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's one thing to release Trolls. I think for 1999. Um, which we'll see how well that does.
Yeah.
Um, but I'd pay $25 to see Black Widow. So
Yeah. Now
or Mulan.
would that be a like a rental, or would that be
Yeah,
purchasing
no,
it?
no, it would be a rental. They're not gonna just, you know,
Dish out the digital copy of
no,
it for 25
no. I
bucks.
mean, if Trolls World Tour is charging 19.99
Yeah.
for like it's like a 48 or 72-hour rental,
Yeah.
um, then yeah, Disney is going to charge at least 19.99
Yeah.
uh, for the same thing. I mean, you're getting to see a brand new movie,
In the comfort of
a
your own
blockbuster.
couch.
You're getting say I should say a blockbuster. Yes, there's a lot of movies that come out like straight to on demand in this day and age, especially a lot of the smaller films.
Yeah. It'll
But
be
yeah,
interesting to see. I'm curious to see what I saw them putting Mulan out, but I'm more curious as to see what they do with Black Widow, because that's a Marvel movie, and that one will
yeah,
be.
that would be very interesting. Like I said, I mean, Disney's in a different boat because and we'll go ahead and it's theme parks, but I mean, Disney has announced that they are going to start furloughing employees whose jobs aren't necessary at this time, starting April 19th. And of course, the parks are first.
Yeah, we got the news of this later on this afternoon, that the furlough will begin April 19th, because that was the original date that Disney pretty much guaranteed to pay cast members up until. And obviously, we got the announcement today that that's going to happen, and then also some good things, I guess you could say, out of this. They will continue healthcare benefits, um, and company premiums will be paid by Disney. So there's a little bit of light at the end of that tunnel, which was really nice of Disney to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's people are like, well, how come Disney can't keep paying their cast members? And right now, this is for executives, salaried, and non-union cast members.
Yeah, correct.
But the only reason it's at this point because these Disney still has to have come to agreements with the unions and I mean we I would expect that this is going to happen to them too. Whether their package is a little bit different, we'll see.
Yeah.
But it's Disney is hemorrhaging money. I
Yeah,
mean, it's
there's people out there that were expecting Disney to continue to pay employees after this April 19th date. I'm like, listen, a company can't just like you said, you said it the right way. A company just can't bleed money paying their cast members. As nice as a gesture as it would be, it just simply Disney, and as we just mentioned a little bit ago with the movies and stuff, Disney's hurting. They're not making money. Their theme parks are closed. Their sports, ESPN. So they unfortunately they can't continue um, to compensate the cast members beyond a certain amount. The certain date. This date being April 18th. So it sucks, but um, it it's just a really crappy situation. We can sit here and hack and slash at it and talk about it, but it's just I really hope we get through this thing soon. And I just it's stressful on a lot of people right now. And
Yeah, I mean it. And the interesting thing, people are like, well, what's Universal going to do? And that's up in the air. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Well, they announced, didn't they? Didn't the Comcast or one of the higher ups announce like a $500 million set aside for employees or something like that? I never looked
Yeah,
into it.
I mean, but they still obviously haven't announced anything past. I believe what theirs is April 18th.
Yeah,
So it's we'll see what happens. I mean, it's definitely you don't want to see this happen, but I mean, we all sort of knew that this was probably
going to
going to
happen.
happen.
Yeah,
I mean, Comcast is in a little bit better position because they have a cable and internet network,
yeah,
and right now, that's making money
yeah,
because people are at home and people need internet access, and people there are still a lot of people out there who still have cable, and some people I've definitely, based on what I've read, have added cable.
yeah. Because
Because I
Comcast
know
has
a
wireless
lot of
too.
yeah, because a lot of companies like Comcast, Spectrum, and others have offered deals to people, like especially with people who have kids who are out of
Mm-hmm.
school, have offered different deals to get people to sign up. So that's one part of the market that's doing well. Disney does not have that.
Yeah,
They have all the content, but
they don't have
they
the internet and division
yeah,
to yeah,
yeah.
no. um
And the things that and like we talked about, like the ESPN has no sports. They are basically showing like Disney Fox sports movies and documentaries at night, or reruns of like different sporting events.
yeah,
um that means they're not making as much money with ad revenue. So that's hurting them. The parks being closed. I mean, we've heard all kinds of crazy numbers of how much that is costing Disney a day. I mean, it's in the millions of dollars.
yeah,
Um,
it's not pocket
that no. So I mean, Comcast, who owns NBC Universal, is in sort of a different boat than Disney is. So we will see what happens there. But obviously, like we talked about last week, I mean, SeaWorld has laid off all 90% of their staff, and this is a better deal than what the SeaWorld people got, because at least people are still going to get their health care paid for the time being. So we'll see what happens, and
yeah. And we
I mean,
also sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
no, I mean, we'll see what happens, and not to be a downer, but like, yeah, everybody's furloughed, but not everybody's going to be needed back when the parks reopen.
Yeah, that was the other
um,
thing that's going to be interesting to see is once things start coming back to life here and the parks do open back up, what's going to be coming back,
yeah,
and what's not going to be coming back. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. It's a hard time for everybody. We obviously know a lot of cast members. I know one personally. I'm married to one.
you
So
are.
yeah, it's a tough time. So we all need to kind of reach out to our best mates and friends, and just make sure everybody's okay, because it's a crappy situation. Um, that we're all in right now, and panicking and freaking out just ain't gonna do anything. So let's be humans and reach out to each other and get through this mess together. Because
And yeah,
that's gonna be the best way. So all right, really quick, they also I'm not gonna spend too much time on this. We've had people asking us. Disney did announce more stuff today about annual pass holders. They're holding their April 5th, they're stopping payments for Disneyland and Disney World pass holders. They have more details on the Disney World / Land website if you want to go check that out. But yeah, pretty much you're a pass holder. You kind of looked into this really quick. What did you take out of it?
Basically, the original thing was, oh, we're going to keep taking payments and then we'll just extend your passes. Well, now they're basically going to go back, and if you, like for Disney World example, if you had a payment between March 14th and April 4th, they are going to retroactively refund your payment, and basically now your pass will expire at your originally scheduled expiration date. Those of you who paid in full, they will be they will just extend your past the number of days the park's closed.
Yeah. So we have all those details. It was funny. I guess Disney originally had some guy's cell phone. I actually think I need to take down the picture we have on our coronavirus article. I think
Oopsie.
it was it's 407 839 7277, I believe. But Disney had some dude's cell phone up there, so people were blowing up this poor guy's cell phone with like pass holder questions. But the picture we have up on our coronavirus update article is not the appropriate phone number, so do not call that one. I'll update it as soon as we're done here with the podcast. So anyways, we have all that stuff up on the website, so be sure to check that out. You can go to ThrillGeek.com. You can search coronavirus, and it's right there on the top articles. What am I saying? So
Yeah.
all right, enough of this depressing, sad news. Let's talk about something that we, both you and I, absolutely love, and hope nothing happens due to this coronavirus, and that is Halloween Horror Nights 30. Um, we have a list of speculated haunted houses that are going to be rumored to be coming to the event this year. So we figured we would do a speculation episode and kind of discuss each one of these rumored houses that possibly maybe could be coming to the event this year. So let's dive into that. I'll go down. I have a list here, Barry, so we'll just kind of go down my list.
I'm looking at them too.
Okay.
Do we need to credit who puts this out every year?
Well, who put up the map? HHN
Horror Night
Horror Night Nightmares.
Nightmares. Pretty much every last few years has put up a map, a speculation map of the houses. Right now there is no rumored scare zones. And sometimes they're accurate, sometimes they're not.
Yeah. So we're gonna kind of go off of the map. We're not gonna really discuss the locations because that obviously usually does change. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So we're just gonna pick the houses that they put on the map and just kind of go right down the list and kind of give our take on each one of the houses this year that are rumored to be coming to HHN 30. So, anyways, let's dive in. What you got first, Barry? Go ahead. I'll let you go first. You kick it off.
Well, I mean, if we're going to start with the first one, that would be Beetlejuice, which I had not heard a rumor about this at all.
No?
I guess it's been talked about, but I mean, that's a huge get.
Yeah.
Which also would mean that all of a sudden Warner Brothers properties are back into play.
Is Beetlejuice a Warner Brothers movie?
Yes.
It is. Okay. I was trying to think the other day what movie studio Beetlejuice was under, and I never got into looking it up.
Two of the things on this list are Warner Brothers movies.
Yeah. No, I would all be. There seemed to be kind of mixed thoughts, opinions about Beetlejuice coming to Halloween Horror Nights, but he's been a part of Halloween Horror Nights since almost the beginning.
Yeah,
Since the
especially
beginning.
in the beginning.
Yeah. So it being an anniversary year, I would have no because obviously he has been, but he hasn't had his own house. So to have a house for the movie would be something special because he's been in the shows and he's been in kind of the odds and ends, so to speak, of Halloween Horror Nights. He's never been the centerpiece of his own haunted house.
No, I mean it would be huge. It's another comedy like Ghostbusters. It's another comedy horror classic. I mean, and Beetlejuice is super hot right now. If you also talk about the Broadway show, it's like the Broadway show is one of the most streamed Broadway shows in the last 10 years, and the soundtrack's only been out for like what, a year, I think.
Yeah,
and
Emily, she absolutely loves this. She saw the Broadway show and she absolutely lives for it. So,
Yeah,
um,
so I mean, to me, this is a huge get, and I've got to assume that this would probably be the lead promoted thing as far as commercials and artwork,
yeah.
much sort of like Ghostbusters sort of was last year.
All right, moving on. Next is Universal Monsters will be returning with Universal Monsters: The Bride. This is the next one on their speculation map, which is interesting because last year, obviously for HHN 29, we had the Universal Monsters house, which was very what's the word I'm looking for was a hit. There was a lot of people that liked that house. It was a good, solid house last year.
Yeah, it was a darker version of the monsters. I mean, we've got, this speculation list. It's, obviously 10 houses, six six IP, four originals, but really, I mean, Universal Monsters, I mean, I know they consider it an IP, but it's really also an original too, and they've also been a part of Halloween Horror Nights since the beginning. Um, I think it's interesting to give like the bride, um, feature the bride, in a house. There's all kinds of different things you can do with that,
And her segment in the Universal Monsters house at 29 was actually a really good segment with her kind of
her
walking
and
out and screaming and
yeah, I mean,
it was it
it
was
would
simple
definitely
but
be
it worked.
yeah, and it would definitely be something more in depth.
Yeah.
And if it, and so, I mean, I'm all for, like I said, we complained for years here about Hollywood constantly getting Universal monster houses, and us, like anniversaries. It seemed to be the only time we would get the monsters, and it's like I'm all for, like, more unit. You can have a different Universal monster house every year if you want.
Yeah.
There's enough of them. So
There's enough content there for them to do, good solid Universal Monster houses for several years. So I have no issue with them doing one back to back. It's Universal Monsters, it's that's the epitome of Universal horror. So I would have no problem with the Bride house coming to 30 this year. And it being an anniversary year, we kind of have to keep that in mind going over these houses. Beetlejuice would be fantastic for an anniversary because, like I said, he's been a part of it from since the beginning. And Monsters, like I said, it's Universal Classic Monsters. So those two alone already, if these come to fruition, set up a good year for an anniversary lineup.
yeah, I mean, like you said, they're both considered IPs, but they both have ties to Halloween Horror Nights from the beginning. So I mean, I think not everybody picked up on that
Yeah.
eventually, because everybody sort of reacted to, oh well, there's six IP houses and four originals. We thought we were going to get more originals this year, and it's like, well, but these two IP houses have ties to Halloween Horror Nights
Yeah.
history. So
They could almost
yeah.
be. It's kind of 50-50 with them. They're IPs/originals, so it's like, excuse me.
Yeah,
So
So next is rumored house is bedtime stories. Now, well, we've heard different things about this. That this was supposed to be the one from 29 that got pushed out at the last minute for us.
I've watched several
Um,
other people's on YouTube. There's a lot of YouTubers out there, Emily being one of them, that kind of did their own videos on their speculation map, and it's interesting. Everybody seems to have a different take on this bedtime stories house that they put on the map.
yeah, I don't know if I totally buy the that if it was, but I mean, um, there's the one icon, it's a storyteller. I can't believe I'm going like blank on this. The old lady.
Yeah, storyteller.
Yeah, the storyteller.
She looks like my
Could
mom.
this, could this be? Yeah, could this be? Tied to her and like and like sort of horror versions of different like you know stories. Could that be? That could be something because I mean I just have
Well,
a hard time not thinking that every original house this year is not going to be tied to HHN history in some way, and whether it be an icon, whether it be something else.
Well, this is where it got interesting because, like I said, I watched some other YouTubers, and it seemed like there was some confusion because anniversary year we usually get an anniversary house, whether it's a celebration for like for example for HHN 25, we had what was the Jack House called, the Carnival of Carnage, right?
Yeah, I
Um,
believe so.
but we have an anniversary house on anniversary years. So there seems to be some confusion. That is of course if this map holds true, whether this one, the bedtime stories one, is going to be something tied into our previous icons, or another one we're going to be discussing later on is going to be the anniversary house.
Well, at least three of the originals that are on the speculation rumor map all have pretty much ties to
Yeah,
Halloween Horror Nights.
yeah,
Really the only one that's sort of up in the air we think is bedtime stories. But we have heard rumors for a while that this year for this anniversary, all the originals were going to be tied to past Halloween Horror Nights, whether it's an update of something
yeah,
or if it's like icons having certain houses. I mean that's what's been the strong rumor since the beginning. Is that all the originals, there was not going to be something that was not tied into Halloween Horror Nights history this year for the
yeah.
30th anniversary.
Um, Well, let's move on to the next one since we're talking about
Very
icons and
obvious
everything.
one.
Um, this one has been discussed since before I think even HHN 29 or 30 rumors started. And that is the Terror Queen returning, mainly due to the fact that everybody's said that she's and she did say this isn't a myth. She said back at HHN back in 2005 that she'll be back in 15 years. So here we are, 15 years later, HHN 30. Everybody is expecting her at this point to come back. And so it's interesting that, and it's become a house now. She's going to have her own house at HHN 30 if these rumors come true. So, did you ever get to experience her scare zone in
No,
2005? No.
no, that was, I believe, the year before I first experienced, because that was the
Yeah.
last year of Islands.
Yeah.
But,
Um,
yeah, the
but
word cruentus it comes from a Latin word and it's blood.
yeah,
um,
the whole Terra Throne scare zone, which was, this was one of the rare years where Halloween Horror Nights was at Islands of Adventure, and the whole Terra Throne scare zone was located in the port of entry. And at the end of port of entry, kind of when you get there, you can either go left to go to Marvel's Superhero Island, or right to Seuss Landing. Was this giant structure with ramps on it, because the Terror Queen, she came out on like this badass like Harley motorcycle thing that was all decked out. It was really cool. And she'd come out and she'd do sacrifices, and all these things would go on. Kind of in a nutshell. It was really cool. It was a really cool production. The stage that they had was really cool. So I'm curious to see where they go with a house for this. What they do with her.
Yeah, I mean it's why I mean it's why not do this? You like you said, in 15 years at 15, she said she would be back in 15 years. So why would you not do this? I mean, it's these little things that the hardcore fans love. It's also the things that the creators of this event, they love throwing in and that lore sometimes, that original lore, and that them and many others have created over the years. And why would you not do this? It throws a bone to the hardcore fans, and it's once again it's an anniversary year, and like we said, it's looking like all the originals tie into Halloween Horror Nights history.
Yeah.
So why would you not do a Terror Queen house? So
yeah, this is if we were to do our hype list right now, this would be up on my list, because I absolutely loved the Scare Zone back in 2005. I'm curious to see if this comes to fruition, what they do with a Terror Queen house, because the Scare Zone was really cool, as I just mentioned. So, anyways, that is another one that's rumored to be coming. Moving on here, one is the opposite side of the spectrum for my excitement. And that is one, and this is also one of the really bizarre rumors of this year's event, because it's kind of been all over the place. And that
yeah,
is
I mean,
Billie Eilish, or as Emily, I watched Emily's face, she called her Billie Eyelash.
yeah, I mean, we have heard like I think it feels like in the last few months we have heard everything from a Billie Eilish Lagoon
Lagoon
show,
Show.
Scare
Now,
Zone,
yeah,
and now
It went from Lagoon Show to Scare Zone, and now the rumor is a house, which I think that's the latest. I don't think it's changed since then.
this is the one I have the hardest believing. I could totally see Billie Eilish at Halloween Horror Nights. All her stuff is very dark. She's also on Interscope Records, which is owned by the Universal Music Group.
Yeah.
So there's that tie-in. Um, is this the one that may be the one that the rumor that's floated out there? Because they'll never admit to this, but I feel like every year there's rumors that get put out there, and I think I feel sometimes a Universal or HHN team puts some rumors out there to screw with everybody.
Yeah, almost like
And,
throwing a wrench in the wheel type thing.
and I almost feel like this might be the one that they do to screw with everybody. Albeit, it's I don't I don't have a problem with it the way some people do. If you've seen her music videos, the music's very it has a very distinct imagery that would definitely fall in with Halloween Horror Nights.
Sure.
Whether she's at the point yet where she's had the career to have a house yet.
That's what I was
I don't.
curious, because
I
there were people saying like, "Oh, Billie Eilish would bring in the huge crowds," and I'm like, "Would she
it
really
would.
though?"
It would. She is huge right now.
Yeah.
And I like her music. I know you're not the biggest fan. But this is the one I have the hardest, because I mean, albeit you know we've had artist houses before, like Alice Cooper and obviously Rob Zombie.
Yeah.
It's been more prevalent in Hollywood um, with those types of houses than here. And she is huge right now. It would bring in a different demographic, which has become their thing. So, especially, It's started. People always forget it started with The Walking Dead.
Yep.
The Walking Dead brought in a different demographic that hadn't come to the event before, and helped explode the event to the way it is now. And then Stranger Things comes along and brings in a whole other demographic.
Yeah, it's
We'll see. We'll see. I don't think we should spend much time on this because I don't know if this is the one this may be the one that doesn't turn out to be
turn
true.
out to be something. So, all right, yeah,
Because
let's.
once we get to the end of this list, there are some things missing from this list that we have heard rumored is coming to HHN 30. So
Yeah, so let's move on then. Next one is one. This is another one that if this is what the event was right now, I would be super excited for because I'm as a lot of you know, I'm an HHN grandpa and I've been going since number 5, the first year that they had an icon, actually, a little factory there, the Crypt Keeper. Um, and the next rumored house on their speculation map is Dungeon of Terror, which for those of you that don't know was pretty much the original house at Halloween Horror Nights, and I think it was at Fright Nights when it first started. If
yes,
I
it was
remember
it was
correctly.
the only haunted house at Fright Nights. It returned next year for Halloween Horror Nights 2, and it returned again for Halloween Horror Nights 4, and that was the last appearance it made.
And yeah,
So like I said, this is another one of tied into HHN history.
um,
It would be the fourth time for this type of house.
like I said,
So
I started going to Halloween Horror Nights at number 5, so I never got to experience this. But over the years, I've learned some things about Dungeon of Terror, the original house, and I would be very curious to see how they integrate it into the monstrosities that they make now. Because Halloween Horror Nights, back when it was 2, 3, 4, 5, back in the '90s, the houses were small; they were tiny.
yeah,
They aren't these giant, even the tent houses are massive compared to what they used to build back in the '90s for haunted houses. So I'm very, very curious to see if this comes true, what they're going to be doing with Dungeon of Terror, making it a modern take on obviously a very classic house. So this one really piqued my interest. So this one and the Terror Queen house so far. Again, every year it's the originals for me. If you guys have listened to this podcast before, I'm an
yeah.
original. Barry too. We love the IPs that this event brings in, but we always fall back on the originals. So, I'm curious to see what they do with Dungeon of Terror. Moving on next, this one, I hope it's not true just for the sake. I don't have to. I don't have to. I want to watch this
So
show. It's not that I
I've watched the show.
I
So
know you're a huge fan of it. It's the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. It's not that I don't want the show. I just haven't gotten around to watching the show, and I hope it doesn't come to fruition because if it does, that means I'm going to have to binge watch it, which isn't a bad thing. But what you're obviously I know you love this show. So what is your thoughts on this?
I mean, it fits in. It's witches, it's dark, and it's not lighthearted like the old Sabrina, the Teenage Witch show. This show is dark, and deals with the devil and witches and just everything that's perfect for Halloween Horror Nights. The other interesting thing, yes, this is on Netflix, but is also a Warner Brothers property.
Yeah,
So
this is the other one that you were mentioning. That's a Warner Brothers property.
I mean, we will see. I've heard back and forth about this one, whether this is really true or not. So it's and I feel like this was rumored last year too. It never was on a speculation map, but I feel like this since
Yeah, there
Sabrina's
was.
come out, it's been rumored that
There
it was
was
going.
some chatter I remember of Sabrina House. I think last year. You are correct. So that's another one that's rumored. This one, you were kind of talking about the Billie Eilish house. I think this is another one where I'd be surprised to see it happen. I think this one could be another one that is not going to happen. Just kind of my intuition. Um,
Yeah, I mean it's we haven't gotten to all, but like, the current list is 3 different Warner Brothers properties, and
Yeah, that's a lot.
that's a lot after sort of not having them for a while here, and obviously Warner Brothers is looking like they won't be they've given up on trying to run their own Halloween
Yeah,
event.
because they did the thing with what was it? They had it, and they had like a Joker haunted house or something. Their
Like
Halloween thing.
Arkham Asylum, I think.
Yeah, it was like their own little them trying to almost compete with Halloween Horror Nights, and they went and did their own thing, and I don't think it ended up working out. So who knows? Maybe they're starting to ease up, and all these things do come true, and Universal got the rights to do them. So we'll just have to wait and see. Moving on, this is another one that I am very excited about because Cheryl and I watched this show. We loved it, and pretty much
I
every
still haven't watched it.
it's so good. It's legit terrifying. And if this comes to a house, there's so much they could do with this between the bent neck lady and the floating bowler hat guy. This really isn't spoiler stuff, but just the just the characters in this show. And the show is terrifying. That's the easiest way I can put it. This is The Haunting of Hill House. I didn't even say it. I'm sitting here talking about it, and I didn't even say it. Yeah, The Haunting of Hill House is rumored to be coming to HHN 30 this year. Um, it's there's so much they could do with this because the house. If they put you in the middle of the I can't remember the name of the house off the top of my head. Something. But anyways, no. This would be an amazing haunted house. So I think if there's one house on this speculation map that I hope comes true, it is the Haunting of Hill House because this would be a really cool, dark, terrifying house if done correctly. And
Yeah, no. I mean, it's been since it debuted. It's been talked about of it. When's it coming to Halloween Horror Nights?
yeah, it's perfect for horror
eh,
nights. There's no other way to put it. This would be perfect to slide in there. And Universal obviously has the relationship with Netflix. So again, this is one that could. And the sequel, I believe, is coming out. I don't know if it's been delayed. But the season 2, which I believe is called Midnight Mass, season
something like
2.
that. Hmm.
Um, I believe it's supposed to be coming out later this year. So for them, it would be perfect timing for them to come out with. Yeah, it says right here the show's going to be released in 2020. The first season of Haunting of Hill House aired in October 2019. So fans think this is according to this article that I'm reading here from the Tech Education. So yeah, no, it could be that the second season could come around Halloween Horror Nights time. So what better time to do a haunted house in the first season?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's the Haunting of Bly Manor for the second season. So it's I'm praying and I'm hoping that this comes to fruition because this would be an incredible house. So, anyways,
So moving on to the final original on this speculation rumor list, Legendary Truth, Cary, Ohio. Um, it's interesting. Obviously, another original, another Halloween Horror Nights themed. Cary, Ohio is been in so many things in Halloween Horror Nights, and then the interesting is the calling it the Legendary Truth, which not all Halloween Horror Nights fans know about the Legendary Truth, and not a lot of them have ever gotten to experience. I ever gotten to experience any of the Legendary Truth stuff.
I've never
Um,
done it personally, and like I said, I know a lot about it, but like I've never participated in it when they've done the Legendary Truth things at Halloween Horror Nights. But yeah, no, the Legendary Truth thing is almost like it almost has like a cult following. Like there are some people that are hardcore into this Legendary Truth thing. Like I have some friends that are big Halloween Horror Nights fans, but they're even more into this Legendary Truth thing. So this speculation of a house based upon Legendary Truth, which is it's a very niche product for Halloween Horror Nights, because like you said, they've only done it periodically throughout the 30-year run of the event. So not a lot of people know what Legendary Truth is. I would imagine more people know what Carry Ohio is, because that's been kind
Yeah.
of sprinkled throughout Halloween Horror Nights in I don't want to say more prominent ways, but it's been advertised more than this Legendary Truth thing. I think that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean I feel like the Legendary Truth part might be sort of the theme that holds it together.
Yeah.
And then God, how many things have been based in Cary, Ohio? So there's all those different characters from scare zones to houses that
Yep.
could all be mashed up into this house.
Yep.
And or we've heard a rumor, like we haven't really talked about which, we talk about icons. We haven't mentioned like the caretaker and Cindy. It's like, you know, it, are they part of this house? Are going to be all different people part of this house? I mean, the theme of this house allows them to put in so many different things.
Oh yeah, especially
Um,
if the Cary Ohio thing is true, because like I said, that's been sprinkled out throughout the run of Halloween Horror Nights. So
oh yeah.
that opens up a whole book of stuff that they could
I
put into
mean,
this house.
I mean, it's like what meets.
Yep.
Um, um, there's all these different the Shady Brook is in Cary, I think.
Yep.
Albeit I don't know if we'll ever see Shady Brook again, but there's countless things. This house could be basically, like I said, you could use the Legendary Truth idea around theme around it, but then as you go into the house, I could see you encountering all these different characters and creatures that have come over the years from all the different stuff, scare zones and houses
Yeah.
located in Cary, Ohio. So
No, it'll be interesting to see if this comes to fruition, what they're going to be doing with it, because the Cary Ohio thing, not so much the Legendary Truth thing. I think that would be a cool name for the house, even if you don't know a whole lot about it.
yeah.
And then kind of make it about Cary Ohio and the icons and kind of go from there. So it'll be interesting to see if
Yeah,
what.
it's another like with the idea of doing a Terror Queen house. It's another thing that sort of like throws a bone to the hardcore fans, and it's they, and like I said, they love using the lore of the event, especially during on the anniversary years. They really love digging deep and pulling stuff into in these original houses on the anniversary years that are come from all kinds of different things. It's heck, we might see the return of the bear. So
Yeah, the HHN bear will rise again.
yes,
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. We do get periodic nods to icons and stuff in the in between years, but Universal tends to cater to the, so to speak, hardcore Halloween Horror Nights fans on anniversary years. Hence 25, they went crazy with Jack.
yeah,
And where it looks like hopefully we'll get some good icon. Everybody wants it. Everybody wants a new icon, but as long as I get content on icons, if that makes sense, like a house based on this character icon, I'm cool with that. I don't need a new icon.
no, I mean,
There's so
especially
much
when
there that they can work with.
you've got characters like Cindy or Eddie who ended up not really getting their year,
Yeah.
and they've just sort of appeared now in different anniversary, houses or scare zones. So, but that leads us to the last IP, and this one probably got me more excited than even Beetlejuice did, and that's Gremlins.
Yeah, I think this was, we talked about, what was it, Sabrina being rumored last year. I think Gremlins has been a rumor that's kind of been floating around like the last couple years because of this whole 80s thing that
Yeah, I
they've been
mean,
pushing.
it's pretty much, I mean, when you talk about the comedy horror, classics of the 80s, you're talking Ghostbusters, you're talking, and I'm talking PG ones. I'm not talking Evil Dead. Evil Dead is a sort of its own world. Um, that's more like comedy horror, hard R.
Yeah,
But
no,
Beetlejuice, Ghostbusters, Beetlejuice. Probably if you talk about the three trifectas, it's Ghostbusters, Beetlejuice, and Gremlins.
yeah,
Um, another Warner Brothers property.
yeah.
Which do do we get two comedy horror um classics in the same year? That I have a hard time thinking that would happen.
I mean, we got Ghostbusters and Killer Clowns last year.
Yeah, Killer Clowns though falls more of a cult classic.
Yeah,
Um,
I guess. Yeah,
Beetlejuice and Gremlins are pretty big movies.
yeah.
um, it's that's why I mean I it's and I was Gremlins even on the radar at all for this year? I mean, that to me, I guess it's surprised me more because it just seemed to come out of left field.
No, but
Um,
I think when I think an anniversary year, I think of standards, and I think HHN 30 would be a perfect year because it's Gremlins, it's iconic. So I don't personally see an issue with them doing a Gremlins house this year for the 30th anniversary. I think this could be another one that could be kind of up in the air as to whether it's happening or not. I would love to see it happen. Let's talk about what they could do in a Gremlins house. There's so many. If they went, obviously they would have to go the puppet route.
it would be a lot of
A
puppets.
lot of puppets. And Gremlins are terrifying. I don't care what
Yeah.
you say.
Oh,
Those
I
are.
remember getting scared. That movie scared the crap out of
Oh
me.
yeah, yeah. I watched it when I was little, and him falling in the water and all the bubbling and everything. It just that movie haunts you, and it's really a terrifying movie. So I think,
And a lot of people get killed
yeah, that's the other thing too. Is
for like a PG-13 movie.
yeah, the body count in that movie is pretty high for not a, like you said, not a real gore fest movie, but a lot of people die, and I'm hoping for a Gizmo puppet. Can we have like Gizmo like pop out at us and say,
Bye. Yeah.
but yeah, no, that's the last one on the speculation map. Is Gremlins. So take what you have. Obviously, we're very early in the season. And let's go back to this whole coronavirus thing. And the Beetlejuice house.
And now we've been demonetized.
Yeah, no. Um, we it was interesting because I think it was either March 29th or March 30th was the anniversary of Beetlejuice, and I posted this on Twitter, on my personal Twitter.
Yeah.
I am CG83, personal plug.
And
Um,
it's right around the time when we usually get a first announcement.
yeah, the last couple of years we've been, we got the Stranger Things announcement at the end of March, so I was like, were we supposed, if this Beetlejuice house was true, were we supposed to get that going to be the first announcement, this Beetlejuice house on its anniversary? It fell into perfect place. So I don't know how they're going to do announcements this year. I don't know if once it's that's a.
It's gonna be just like all at once.
I was like, just hey, don't even do announcements. Just open up. Just open
Yeah.
up one day. Say, here you go. Here's your haunted houses. No,
Yeah.
it's. Go ahead.
Yeah. I think the interesting thing to come out of, if you look at the speculation map itself, is whether this turns out to be true, a new location for one house. And then, of course, I think the thing that many of us are excited would be no Fast and Furious Supercharged open during Halloween Horror
What?
Nights.
What kind of an abomination is this? Um,
You
yeah,
mean the
no.
attraction that was pretty much walk on during almost every Halloween Horror Nights?
Oh, poor supercharged. Yeah, no, the HH Nightmares speculation map, they have the Shrek house is not happening this year according to this map that they have. And there's a new entrance down by almost where was it? Almost down by where the Mardi
The
Gras
parade.
parade starts. Yeah, the
Yeah,
parade
the parade
entranceway.
gate. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were like, well, where would that be? And then if you've been going the last couple of years, there's always been the rumor, and well, pretty much rumor, no one's ever officially confirmed. They had started construction on Super Nintendo Land
Oh yeah, back
at
behind Curious
back
George.
back behind Kidsville, and there is a whole section there that has been cleared off for the last 2 years that used to, I think, house like portable, like offices, and it is big enough
To plop a
to
tent
hold
down.
to plop a tent down
Yeah.
at that location. And there is enough room if you have people coming in through the parade gate. There's enough room for queues.
Yeah.
So, could we be looking at now, you know, instead of just two houses back there, we're looking at three. Um, so it's I can see, we've heard the rumor for like what the last 2 years that Shrek was going to go away and Secret Life of Pets was going to go in its place. Originally it was like what over at Islands at the Toon Amphitheater, that was where it was rumored, and then the hard rumor the last couple of years has been it would go where Shrek is, since I believe it's like I think it's a 2-story dark ride.
Yeah.
Um, so that's been the hard rumor. And if they were going to go ahead and move forward, because people got to remember, like, even though Epic Universe is being built, they're still going to be adding new attractions, hopefully still, to Universal Studios Florida and Islands of Adventure while this is going on.
Yeah.
Um, so that's been a hard and fast rumor. So, that would make sense if turns out Shrek's going to close sometime this year.
Yeah,
Oh,
because for those of you that aren't hardcore HHN nerds, they usually close down one of the theaters in Shrek and turn it into a Halloween Horror Nights haunted house this time of the year. So it'll be interesting to see if that comes to fruition, and we don't get a Shrek house this year, and we get another tent house back behind. You walk by it when you're at Halloween Horror Nights while you're leaving. What is it? The parade building house and the
yeah.
it's a big open area. So we'll see what happens. Um,
Yeah, and then as expected, according to the speculation, Academy of Villains will be back, which we pretty much, that's like a duh. And then just Lagoon Show. What will the Lagoon Show be? Um,
oh yeah, then
being
John,
that it,
what was
being
this?
that it's
Go ahead.
being that it's an anniversary, is this how we're going to get the icons? Is through a Lagoon Show? I mean, will it be will it be like this past year where it's a mashup of the different IP houses, or will we get something more original?
They set the bar pretty high last year with Marathon of Mayhem. I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
How they're going to top that, I don't know. No, John on I believe he's on YouTube. I saw this too on Twitter. There was a rumor of a La Bamba area being used for a house. Did you see anything about that?
I heard about that, but I think they're confusing like the the entrance to this new house is going to be next
It's going to be
to
next
La
to La
Bamba,
Bamba. It's
because
not going to
La
actually be.
Bamba is the VIP slash RIP tour place.
Yeah,
I mean that they're not they have been
I
using
don't.
that for years. I don't even know how you would do anything
I
there.
don't
There's
even
no
think they could
room.
fit a house in there. Yeah.
I mean, the only thing
Um,
I could possibly see is like some of the queue maybe out there in the street there, um, in between horror makeup and La Bamba.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, that's where you go and you get your break in the RIP tour and get drinks and snacks and stuff, and that they're not going to change. I don't know where that idea came from. It's the place is a restaurant, and
Yeah, I don't see it
yeah.
happening. It's too small, and yeah, when I saw that come up, I was very confused. So thanks, John, for the comment. We appreciate it. We appreciate everybody on Twitch, YouTube watching. I figured we do a little multi-stream thing and see how it goes. Um,
But one thing we haven't talked about when it comes to rumors is the things that were rumored that aren't on this speculation map, and the biggest one has got to be, well, two big ones. One of them is Candyman.
Yeah, that's an interesting one because there's been a lot of discussion whether Universal is going to push that film back due to coronavirus and all that fun stuff. And if they do push it
You
back,
said it again.
yeah, they don't. What do you do with the haunted house? That's an interesting one because if they do go ahead with the haunted house and then the movie gets pushed back,
Yeah.
um, I don't know. I don't know what would happen with that.
And then of course the other one is the new Halloween. Um, that's been rumored.
Yeah,
Obviously,
that's one that I've been wanting to see too because I love the movie. I love the Blumhouse take on Halloween, and we have what, two more sequels coming: Halloween Kills
mm-hmm.
and
Yeah,
Halloween. What is it? What's the last one called? Halloween Ends or something like that.
something like that.
Yeah, no, we have two more coming up, and the first one's been out since what? Did that come out 2 years ago? Two
Well,
or
it'll
three
be
years ago?
two. It'll be 2 years in October,
Yeah, so and that would be
and
easy.
that's when the sequels are supposed to come out. The
Yeah,
the first sequel. Yeah,
but
and
I
I
think
think those are the two big ones that have been rumored that aren't on here. I'm not going to say it because everybody can want it as much as they want, but I that's yes, it's a Warner Brothers property, but also a certain other person has to sign off on that, and I believe his name is Stephen King,
yeah,
and he has been very, very, how many years has it taken them to get The Shining?
yeah,
And they got The Shining, the movie that he's not the biggest fan of. He's definitely a fan of the new It movies. So, as much I know everybody wants it. I want an It house. We all
yeah,
want an It house. Um, we'll see if that ever happens. But like I said, I mean, just the idea of this is true of having some Warner Brothers properties back at the event is a huge get because face it, the door is now slammed on Fox properties now that Disney owns them. That
yeah.
just
That's a no go now. Now that Disney has gobbled them up. So Warner Brothers is really the only other big studio that Universal
well,
could.
Warner Brothers, Sony, and Paramount are like the only
Yeah,
the other three, and so but Fox closes a lot of windows. No Aliens, no Predator. There's a bunch of No Fly. No, there's a lot of them that are now gone because
yeah.
because of ownership, and I don't ever see Disney signing off on any of that.
Oh
So
no, no, no. So, anyways, yeah, that's you can go over their Twitter handles at HH Nightmares, right?
HN
HN
Nightmares.
Nightmares. Really cool guys over there. I believe I met them last year. Met them last year at the media event for. I can't remember if
Yeah,
that was him.
I
I
think
met.
we've met them before, either at media events or out in the park during Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah, all the guys that runs HHN specific websites are all really cool guys. So if you ever see them, be sure to follow all of them on Twitter. You can probably just search on Twitter or Facebook Halloween Horror Nights, and there's a lot of fan sites out there that do a really good job at these rumors and speculation and just run really cool websites. If you want to kind of learn more about Halloween Horror Nights, be sure to check them all out. So. Anyways, I think that's it. How are you doing, Barry? We don't really discuss how we're doing anymore.
I mean, I'm working. Those of you know, I have a job where I am. We are listed as an essential business. And I am out, and I can't fully work from home. I can do some stuff at home. But my job requires me to go out there and be out in the community, and it can be it can be stressful, a little bit of anxiety. I mean, I know you have a job too that requires you to go out and go places, but you're a little bit more isolated.
Yeah, I think a lot of you guys know, like my 9 to 5 is I do photography for car dealerships, and
Which is
it's
a huge thing right now.
yeah, you would be surprised. I'm not going to get into specifics of what dealerships I do, but some of the ones that I do work at, they were actually, they were rocking and rolling with customers, and they're abiding by the social distancing thing. It's interesting working. Seeing customers in a car dealership working with a salesman, and they got to keep 6 feet away, and it's interesting. But yeah, no, I'm still working because the car dealerships are open. So yeah, no, it's hard. It's really hard on my wife because as a lot of
Yeah,
you
I
guys
was.
know, I have 3 kids, and she's at home now. Daycare's closed, school's closed, so she's at home now. 7 days a week with these kids. Given on the weekend I'm home. So it's a lot on her right now because she's got to worry about the 2 younger ones, Connor and Charlotte, who are starting to learn the basics of learning. Charlotte, not so much. Connor, yes, because he's about to go into um, in grade school here in the next couple of years, so he's starting to learn stuff. So she's got to pay attention to him. And Jordan, obviously, who's in the 4th grade, and he's got a lot of work to do. So she's basically homeschooling this kid now, and it's a lot on her. So, anyways, it's tough, but we make a good team, and I think we'll get through this. And I hope everybody, like I said at the beginning of this recording, that everybody gets reach out to your. I know we have to abide by the whole social distancing thing, but a phone call, a text message, an email, to your fellow friends, and just make sure everybody's doing okay, because it'll be a nice it's a nice gesture to do something. It doesn't take a lot to do something that simple. So reach out to your buddies and just make sure everybody's doing okay. So
Yeah, everybody stay in touch. Everybody watch over everybody else out there.
yeah,
There's a lot of people who are by them. Some people are by themselves, and
yeah,
it's some people we know are by themselves, and
yep,
it's not easy. It's like I said, you have 3 kids. I just have Sin and 2 dogs, and and she's definitely makes my life easy. Because unfortunately she hasn't been really able to work because of all that's going on. So it's like everybody's going something. Some of us are some of it's harder for some of us than others. And just everybody watch over each other, and then we'll hopefully get through this out the other side. This is unprecedented. I mean, it's and we hope, like I said, we're not going to talk too much about it on the podcast. But it's we hope that everybody can just come here every week or twice a week, and just enjoy hearing us or some guests talk about fun pop culture and theme park stuff. So
yeah. We're gonna try and keep it, like we said in the last episode. We're gonna try and keep it chipper from here on out. Obviously, if stuff does happen, we'll bring it to you at the beginning of the episode. But we really wanted to have some fun talking about Halloween Horror Nights stuff because that's our favorite. That's our forte. And those are honestly the podcast episodes that do well when we talk about Halloween Horror Nights. So
yeah. So
we wanted to do that this week, and get you guys something fun to talk about. So, anyways, let's get on out of here.
yeah, we are at ThrillGeek on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook.com/ThrillGeek. Please like and follow our Facebook page, YouTube.com/ThrillGeek. Please check out our YouTube channel. We are going to continue putting up different content on there, including we have our own Jurassic Park River Adventure home version is up there on the YouTube channel. ThrillGeek.com for the latest in theme park and pop culture news, which is still happening. There are still theme theme park and pop culture news coming out there. And we also have our new ThrillGeek Top 5 series that is debuted this week, where we'll be looking at our top 5, whoever writes it, their attractions. Like right now we have ThrillGeek Top 5 attractions at Tokyo Disney Sea, or favorite interesting restaurants. Like we have our ThrillGeek Top 5. I can't remember the name of the article off the top, but it's like what most interesting restaurants at Walt Disney World or something.
Yeah, I think Emily wanted to change it up, and she made it most unique, most interesting, or something like that.
Yeah. So we will be continuing having these articles every week, and normally in the past we haven't sort of given our top recommendations or stuff, but you know what, we decided to do something new since we have the time to do it now. And so, like I said, you'll start seeing these multiple of these ThrillGeek Top 5 articles every week on the website thrillgeek.com. And of course, you are listening to the ThrillGeek Podcast. Wherever you can get a podcast, you can get the ThrillGeek Podcast. And of course, be sure to follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/ThrillGeek. That's where we'll be doing most of the podcast live streams, but sometimes it might be on YouTube too. Like this episode is also on YouTube. So, yeah, everybody, we're still pumping out content. We're still doing things. We hope we're probably going to try to start having some guests on, but it'll be where probably I will sit down and record a podcast with a guest, since we still aren't there yet with having 3 of us on this stream all at the same time. And we'll record we'll record it over Skype, so there'll still be video, and we'll post the videos up on like, I think we can post video on Twitch, can't we?
Yeah, I think you can upload video to Twitch.
Yeah, so we'd upload it to like Twitch and YouTube. So we're looking at like, just, you guys are sitting at home, a lot of you, so we're gonna give you content for you guys to enjoy while you're riding it out.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to it yet, but I do want to maybe periodically do some more just random live streams on Twitch of either just me chatting with people, which I love to do, which is why we started live streaming the podcast again, which is to chat with people and do a little conversation, so to speak. So I'm gonna try and maybe get into doing some more live streams on other different social channels anyway. So anyways, thanks guys for listening, and we'll see you guys next week.
See you soon. Stay safe.
All right, you can stop dancing now. That fantastic intro.
Welcome to the after show.
Yeah. It's going to be a very brief after show because I have to figure out now how to... Because I'm basically recording the Skype audio, so I'm going to have to figure out how to get that and crop that and stuff. So it shouldn't be too difficult. So I'll figure it out here. I just noticed you can actually record on the Skype.
Yes.
On the Skype app itself.
I've had to do that at work.
So I did that. Plus, I found this like desktop app called MP3 Skype Recorder.
Mm-hmm.
It actually started recording the minute our call connected. So I'm gonna see how that turned out. So, anyways.
Yeah, that's what I'll be doing. Like if I have a guest on via Skype, and then it'll record like split. It can record split screen. And then you just upload it. So.
Well, hopefully it looked like after our little snag with the webcams before we started, the webcams freezing up. It looks like this went pretty well. And I'm hopefully we can continue to do it here at least until things are back to normal, and you can come on back over here and we can get back to our regular live stream. But I was glad.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's
able to figure this out. Well,
luckily the webcam on this laptop's actually halfway decent. So
I was gonna ask you, that's the one on your Alienware laptop, right?
Yeah.
That's a nice. It's actually a decent webcam. Mine looks like shit, which is why I signed up for. Which is why I added the Logitech to the live stream, because my one that you see on Skype is awful.
Yeah.
So, anyways. Anywho, time is it?
It's after 11.
Yeah. So, all right, let's wrap this up because I'm going to get this edited and uploaded and all that fun stuff. So,
all right. See you guys later.
Good night, guys. Thanks, everybody, for watching on YouTube, Twitch. Once again, we thank you guys for joining us. Share with your friends, family, all that good stuff. And we'll see you guys on the next live stream. Good night. Sleep tight.
Good night. Stay safe.